Alrighty, students, what we're going to do today is we're going to look at day 6. Now, I know this is from day 5, but day 5 is connected to day 6. So let's look at what we're going to do today for day 6. Okay, for day 6, first thing I want you to do is after you do your bell ringer, I want you to review yesterday's activities because yesterday's activities relate to the activities that we're doing today in class. Okay, so today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing activities 6 through 10. Okay, and this is individual work, and I will be guiding you through this assignment. So, first things first. Number 1, okay, we're going to compose the thesis and write the introduction. You're going to write an original statement to introduce the focus of your essay, and you're going to keep your statement general and not specific in the text. Now, consider the difficulties couples might face in the early stages of marriage, financial issues as a prime reason for problems in a relationship. So what I want you to do is I want you to create a statement of introduction, and I want it to be general, not specific. Look at what is hint. Look at consider. I'm going to pause the video and let you guys do that right now. Okay, students, what we're going to do now is we're going to look at the thesis statement. Now, we've discussed this in class before. I believe in frame statements. They're a good way to memorize things and how to write thesis statements that are defensible. So I'm not going to read this frame statement to you. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to let you guys read. I'm going to let you guys answer these questions concerning the thesis statement, concerning the frame statement. But when it comes to, let's say, describe the effect. Okay, so what was the effect in the story? What was the effect on the characters? Okay. All right, that's the only thing I'm really and truly concerned about. Okay, now if you need any help with the thesis statement, please ask. So go ahead now and grade the thesis statement. Okay, now that you've done activity 6, we are going to move on to activity 7. Now, I'm not going to read all of this to you, crafting the conclusion. You guys should read it once I'm finished discussing activity 7. But one thing I will admonish to you right now is that we discussed that during the poetry unit. The conclusion should always relate to insight into the human condition. Okay, so when you're crafting your conclusion, when you're writing your essay for the test that you will take in May, I want you to think about what the story or what the work teaches you about the human condition. Okay, so read Crafting the Conclusion. Okay, and then after you read Crafting the Conclusion, I want you to look at theme statement. Step 1, consider. What comment is the author making in this passage about the human condition? What is George Eliot saying about all of us as human beings? What is it about this couple's relationship that is true for all relationships? Okay, now, guys, it's just not heterosexual newlywed couples. George Eliot really didn't live that kind of life when she lived. Okay, if you went to Wikipedia and read her page. But what kind of relationship? She's talking about relationships that we all have, not just heterosexual newlywed relationships. Like, for example, you and I have a relationship. We are teacher and student. Okay, right? Okay, you have a different relationship with your best friend than you do with an acquaintance. You have a relationship between maybe your brothers or your sisters or your moms or your mom and your dad, or maybe your stepfather. Okay, or your stepmom or your step siblings or half siblings, etc. We all have relationships. Okay. Now, is Eliot making an argument about love, power, pride, disappointment, disillusionment, or failure? Now, I want you to think about those things when we move on to step 2. And hint, for step 2, look at consider. Okay. Now, select one of the abstract nouns above or one of your own choosing and use the word to complete the following statement. George Eliot believes that, and hint, hint, look at the consider. Now, if you don't want to look at the consider, you can always go to those trusty yellow pages that has that where I stole Brendan Kinney's abstract ideas list. And you can look, of course, at the yellow pages there and find an abstract noun there. I hope it can back up what you say in the text. Make sure that you do that. We're going to go back to day 5 now. And I am going to pause the video and let you guys do that for right now. Go ahead. Okay, let's look at step 3. You're going to add adjectives and adverbs, phrases, or clauses to clearly and concisely state the meaning of the work as a whole. This statement should not make direct reference to the passage or characters. Remember, a thematic statement is universal and makes a comment on the human condition. In your sentence, include the words that appear after the word that in step 2. Okay, so all of this stuff in step 3, it must relate to the human condition. Okay, gonna pause the video. You guys continue with step 3. Okay, students, now we're on activity 8. And for activity 8, what we're going to do is we're going to look at sample introductions. I always love these samples. Okay, so determine whether each of the following student introductory paragraphs adequately addresses the task posed by the prompt. Underline the words or phrases in the response that addresses the abstract task and draw a squiggly underline below the words or phrases that address the concrete task. The prompt demands an answer to each of the following questions. Now, before you read all of those prompts, in order to have an adequate prompt, you must answer all 6 of these questions. What are the character traits of Tertius and Rosamund Lingate? What is their relationship as a couple? What makes the relationship complex? How does George Eliot portray these characteristics? And how does George Eliot reveal the couple's relationship? Now, I am not about to read A through I for you. Do I want you guys to go to sleep on me? No. You guys go ahead and read A through I yourselves. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pause the video and let you guys read all of these. Remember the bullet points and the bold questions that are here. Now that you've looked at all of those and you've read all of them, I want you to choose one of the introductory paragraphs above that falls short of fully responding to the questions in the prompt. And I want you to rewrite the paragraph to more fully meet the demands of the prompt. Okay, so Ms. Collins, we're gonna rewrite those kids' introductory paragraphs. Yes, you are. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna pause the video and allow you guys to do it. But before I pause the video, I want to go back one more time. All of these questions have to be answered in the prompt in order for the prompt to be adequate, to be good. Okay? Go ahead and do that for me now. Okay, kiddos, now that you've done activity 9, thank you so much, particularly for the kids who, texted me, sent me an email, spoke to me in class because they needed help. Thank you. Now, the last thing we're going to do is you guys are going to correct your own work, revise your introduction. Now that you have examined several samples and have revised and improved one of them, examine your own introductory paragraph. Darlings, do you remember creating your own introductory paragraph? You did so with activity 6, or you did it partially. Remember this right here, this whole activity 6? That was a sort of hint, your introductory paragraph. So what you guys are going to do is you're going to go back to what you wrote for activity 6 and you're going to look and you are going to make sure that you answered all questions here. So you can write a very good introductory paragraph. So let's look at what you're supposed to have. The name of the author and the title properly punctuated, a clear thesis statement which effectively answers both the abstract and the concrete task in the prompt, sentence variety in structures and patterns using proper punctuation, mature word choice. Please, for the love of God, do not use pretty, stupid, smart, ugly, good, bad. Use mature words, please. Present tense verbs for literary analysis if necessary. Revise and write your revised paragraph below. Okay, darlings, once you are finished with activity 10, you have until the end of the hour to do activity 10. So go ahead and finish activity 10. If you need help or assistance, please let me know. Have a wonderful day, darlings. Bye-bye.